Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the So Brothers channel. And this is my performance review of the Anta KT8. So this is Klay Thompson's 8th signature shoe with Anta. And this shoe does go for 150 bucks. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave a link in the description box to Famuji. But let's get it started off with the Tracciones. And in this color, we have a fully translucent outsole. And it's like this blue color, right? I do like it. It's like an icy color, you know? And it's pretty much two circles, you know? So here in the forefoot, we got a circle and it circles out on itself, and same thing here in the heel. And that's kind of been the theme of Klay Thompson's shoe, you know, like flow like water, which I think is cool. It's like I guess 2 water drops, right? But how does the traction perform? It's really, really nice, and it's pretty much good right out the box. You don't have to break in the traction really at all. So if you're playing on a clean court, it has a really, really good bite. You're stopping on a dime, and it has a really loud and high-pitched squeak, which I also do like. Of course, squeak has nothing to do with performance, but I do like to have a nice loud squeak just in my ball shoes, you know what I mean? If you're playing on a dusty court, however, it's not the best, you know? So I didn't really have any issues with it being super dangerous. I did slip out a little bit when I was doing hard stops on a dusty setting, like if I let too much dust build up. But it's a really easy wipe, you know, just go 1 to 2 wipes and you're good to go. So if you're okay with wiping and you don't really mind that all too much, then you should be fine playing on a dusty court. Of course, if you don't like wiping all too much, obviously, you know, it's probably not the best option, but honestly for me, it wasn't terrible. You know, I didn't really mind wiping that much because it was a really easy wipe and I had really good stops anyway. So honestly for me, I didn't really mind it all too much on a dusty court. Also, if you're playing on an outdoor court, it's probably not the best option. I don't think it would be terrible, but the grooves are like, the rubber is a little soft. You know, it's not the thinnest grooves, but also like not the deepest grooves. So if you're playing on an outdoor court, I don't think it'll be the best option, which is kind of weird because, like, you know, Anta and the Chinese companies in general give us really good and durable outsoles, right? So yeah, for the most part, I had a really good time in the shoe because the traction was really, really good. Just keep in mind, if you're playing on a really dirty court, you're gonna have to wipe pretty frequently. All right, moving on to the heel to toe transition. Overall, it was really, really smooth, right? So here in the heel, we have a nice little rounded shape here in the heel, but also fully exposed midsole, which is very, very soft. Not a whole lot of bounce though in this A-flash edge foam, but there is a good compression, which feels nice here in the heel. Then here in the forefoot, we have a pretty nice curve shape and a good amount of forefoot flex, which I did like. But also, if you look at it, there is a carbon fiber plate, right? You can see that it's carbon fiber because there's a little window here in the heel, and then it extends all the way here into the forefoot, right? But like, you would think it wouldn't flex here that much, but it actually does. And it has a little bit of rigidness to it as well, which feels nice. So it kind of propels you forward as well because of this carbon fiber plate. So it's a nice average between like it being pretty flexible here in the forefoot and also giving good torsional support and propelling you forward because of the plate. So overall, heel to toe transition was really, really nice, and honestly it felt like springy when I was running down the court, so I really enjoyed that. Moving on to the cushioning setup. So for the past couple of models for the Klay Thompson line, the heel has actually been very high up off the ground, right? And then the forefoot has been a little bit lower to the ground, you know, but there was a very high offset in his last few models, which I didn't really mind all too much, but honestly, I like to have a little bit better court feel in the heel, right? So I think they did a really good job in designing this cushioning setup. So the foam is pretty much A-flash edge. It says A-flash edge right here. And then if you look on the bottom, we have N2 foam, right? So I'm guessing it's just here in the forefoot. So step and cover is actually really nice as well. So if you look at the insole, we have N2 foam as well, and it's really nice. It improves the step and cover. It's soft, so I do like the addition of that. But if you remove the insole and feel the strobe board, it's like on the stiffer side of things. It doesn't really break in all too much, you know. So I didn't really feel the N2 foam that much here in the forefoot. But for the most part, the N2 foam like insole does feel nice. Also, overall court feel is really good. You feel very low to the ground here in the forefoot and also here in the heel, although it does look pretty thick. You're actually probably around right here, you know, where your heel is. So here in the heel, you have good compression. It's soft. Impact protection, especially on heel strikes, was adequate for me as well. So it's just a nice mix of everything. The only thing it kind of lacks is bounce. There's not a whole lot of bounce from this cushioning setup, but if you're looking for something soft, comfortable, and low to the ground with great impact protection, and also pretty damn good step and comfort, then this is a great option. So overall, it was a really nice all-around cushioning setup. It just lacked a little bit of bounce, which honestly I'm not too mad at. It's just something that's a little bit of a cherry on top for me. You know, like in the Wild 10 or something like that, or like full-length zoom strobo, you know what I mean? So the cushioning setup was super nice. And now moving on to the material. So they're calling this the speed fiber material, right? And so we have a mix of like plastic or like nylon strands, and underneath that it looks like I don't know what it is. It's like a plastic material probably, right? But overall, it's like really thin. It conforms to your foot very well. It doesn't like pinch your foot at all. It doesn't feel cumbersome. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. So right here in the forefoot and also here in the midfoot, it feels great. And then moving on to the tongue, we have a little bit of padding here on top of the tongue, but on the bottom, it's more of like a mesh material, right? And also it's a half booty construction tongue, which gives you a better overall one-to-one fit. It's a really large tongue. Look at that. I really like that. And then here in the ankle area, we have very minimal padding as well, which is very opposite of what we've gotten in past KT models, which have a lot of padding with the Achilles pads and stuff, which they usually give us. So that kind of sucks. I do miss the Achilles pads, but it does feel very minimal, right? This upper feels very minimal and very lightweight, which I do like, but also it feels super supportive. There's zero stretch to this material. So I do like the composition of materials that they gave us. As far as like the material quality, I don't think it's like the best. You know, the lining, you know, with this like polyester material isn't the best. And like this material right here, it's like what is this? Like a suede, like a synthetic suede material or something. Not the best quality, but honestly, you know where it counts, where you feel the material the most, like here on top of your foot in the forefoot. It feels pretty damn nice on foot. So there is the materials there. Moving on to the fit, I went true to size and it fits me really, really well. Honestly, like a perfect fit, you know, super snug fit. So I was good going true to size. My toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe. Also, it's a really snug fit here in the toe box, right? I could barely curl my toes up. And also, it's a pretty damn narrow fit as well. So I really like the fit. I didn't really get bad needles either. So it's just like a really nice, perfect fit for me. It fits me pretty much like a glove. So if you like a really nice snug fit, then go true to size. If you want it to be a little bit roomier, probably go up half a size. And if you have a really wide foot or you want it to be like a roomier fit, probably go up a full size because it's a really snug fit. Also, this shoe is very easy to put on because it does have a heel tab, right? But of course, we have this makeshift kind of like high top, low top thing right here going on, right? So moving on to the support and lockdown, let's go right into this. So of course, I did play with this shoe as a high top and this shoe as a low top. And I didn't really notice the difference all too much, right? So the ankle support is really bad and this is pretty much a gimmick. So no matter how tight I tie the kind of like last few eyelets, this is just too flimsy. And also like the laces don't go high enough up onto this kind of like makeshift, what is this, like strap thing? To tighten around your ankle that much. You know what I mean? It's still pretty damn loose, even though I tighten it up all the way, very, very tight. If you're looking for a high top, this definitely is not the best option. And I would suggest just making it a low top and playing it like this, right? So that definitely did suck. You know, it did have some promise, but I don't think they executed it very well. As far as the lateral containment goes, I was good to go, right? Like I keep saying, this material is super supportive and also doesn't really roll over on itself that much. Here in the forefoot kind of, and also in slash the midfoot, we have the foam coming up a little bit and also this Anta logo to stiffen up the material a little bit as well. And then here in the heel, the foam comes up acting on the sidewall and it feels like there's an internal TPU heel counter as well. So lateral containment, I was good to go. And as far as lateral stability goes, look at this. Here in the forefoot, we have a little bit of an outrigger, super wide base, you're low to the ground. So lateral stability was very good as well. So I had no issues with that. Also no heel slippage and my foot felt locked into the shoe when I was playing in it. It wasn't moving around inside of the shoe either. So support and lockdown was very, very good for me. It's just a little bit disappointed in this. Actually, not that much because I like playing in low tops anyway. But of course, if you were looking for a like makeshift shoe, you know, if you're like maybe trying to change it from a high top to a low top, which I think is pretty cool, this does not give very good ankle support. All right, moving on to the weight of the shoe. I feel like it'll be like 12, 13 ounces, right? Yeah, so 13.26 ounces. Let's check the other pair. 13.26 ounces, the exact same weight, so that's very good for quality control. Sometimes shoes have a little bit of a weight difference between the left and right pair, right? But anyways, exact same weight, which is very good. So it feels a little bit heavy on foot. I'm guessing because of, I actually don't know, maybe like the plastic. There's not a whole lot of foam going into this material. I don't think this upper adds that much weight to the shoe, right? So it feels a little bit heavy, and then comparing it to shoes that are super light, like the PG6 and the Currys, but by no means is it heavy, right? But it's a really responsive shoe, right? So when I was playing in it, I felt really quick because the traction is super nice. You stick to the ground, you stop on a dime. I had no issues with my foot sliding around inside of the shoe. Support was great. Cushion overall was really responsive as well. It wasn't too soft or anything. So when I was playing in it, I felt really quick. It just wasn't the lightest shoe, right? So also another good thing is that it doesn't feel like super bulky either. Maybe a little bit here in the heel because this foam is a little chunky, but for the most part, it wasn't that bulky, right? So overall, it felt really nice on foot. All right, moving on to the ventilation. Ventilation is pretty good, right? So like I said, this material is quite thin and there is pretty good airflow through this material. Like here in the toe box and also on the medial side, we do have ventilation holes. So overall, ventilation is pretty damn good in the shoe. And also for the tongue and ankle area, there's not a crazy amount of padding either, right? All right, moving on to the aesthetics. I like it. This colorway is pretty sick. It's more like a Warriors colorway, but there is this other colorway. It's like an all white colorway and it looks pretty damn sick. And I do like the overall silhouette as well. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, this shoe is a banger. This is a really, really good performer and I enjoyed playing in it a lot. It was actually kind of like one of my go-to shoes. I was playing with this shoe and also like the Donny Shoe 4 and also testing like the All-Star BB Shift with that shoe is really bad, honestly, sneak peek, right? And this was my go-to shoe. Donny Shoe 4 was pretty nice, but I was playing in this, like I felt myself gravitating toward this shoe and wanting to play in the KT8s way more. So honestly, the KT8 is a very, very good performer and I would highly recommend it to you guys. If you're a guard and you're looking for a really responsive shoe to feel really quick in, but also have pretty nice cushion, not like a really crappy cushioning setup that's responsive like the Precision 6 or the Giannis Immortalities or even like the Kyrie Low 5, this is a great option. Also, if you're a bigger dude, you should be fine as well. I mean, it has really good support and also really good cushion as well. And most positions will enjoy playing in this shoe as I have. So anyways, that about concludes my review of the Anta KT8. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.